And finally today, Matt Trotter, who is the Communications Director for the Kansas and Oklahoma region of the American Red Cross, is our final guest. Good to have you with us, lad.
Thank you for having me.
You don't look any worse the wear, although I suppose you're walking in your sleep, aren't you?
From time to time.
Talk to me about, if you would, service to the armed forces.
Service to the Armed Forces is a program of the American Red Cross that people don't hear much about. They know about us when it comes to disaster relief, especially here in Oklahoma with tornadoes. They know about us when it comes to collecting blood, because we constantly ask people to donate blood and help patients in hospitals across the country. But since the beginning, the American Red Cross has been there for military members and their families. This is something that we've done for over 140 years now.
People just don't realize it.
Every day we have staff and volunteers that are working with not just active duty military, but veterans and family members to make sure that they have the support that they need to deal with the unique challenges they face as they serve our country.
Well, I tell you, they face them too. You've got both a food and hygiene drive that's going on as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the food and hygiene drive is something that our local service to the armed forces staff came up with after talking to military commanders and partners throughout the region. We understood that military members and their families were looking at a lot of uncertainty, missed paychecks, things like that. And the food and hygiene drive was something they came up with as a real tangible way to help alleviate some of the concerns that military families had as they might be missing a paycheck, wondering where that next meal was coming from. And so working with military partners and communities throughout Kansas and Oklahoma, we were able to collect hundreds of items, sort them, distribute them, and get them in the hands of people who needed them most when they needed them.
Is there a false sense of, well, it's all over now that Congress is back in session?
You know, that's hard to say. From our perspective, we're in touch with military commanders and partners all the time, understanding what their needs are, what their concerns are, what they're looking at on the horizon. And that's really how we got this drive going, is talking with them, seeing that they knew these concerns were going to be real, and getting something into action. We talk to them, like I said, constantly. So if they see another situation like this coming, we'll be able to work with them and understand how to meet their needs again.
Do you have, let me press you a little bit on that. Do you have some sort of organized, I don't know, program that kicks in automatically if there is a need?
So the food and hygiene drive was sort of a special case where we knew people might not get paychecks. They may need these items specifically. As far as a program that's in place to do something like this automatically, no. But it is something that we do in the regular course of our work, supporting members of the military.
I know for a fact that you're not the kind of organization to rest on your laurels. You're constantly scanning the horizon. What are you looking for? What are you watching?
Well, it depends on what's going on in different parts of our mission. So we have disaster services where we're responding to an uptick in climate disasters like tornadoes and floods and wildfires. We look to see what it looks like for blood collection, because somebody in the U.S. needs blood every 2 seconds. We have to keep that supply level throughout the U.S. We try to convince people to be ready for disasters by learning life-saving skills like CPR or first aid. And we're also trying to support all of this through a workforce that's 90% volunteer. So we're constantly trying to recruit and train and engage new volunteers to help support what we do everywhere we do it. Because we don't want to just have a big volunteer workforce in the Tulsa area. We need people who can respond to a home fire out in Weatherford or open up a shelter out in Weatherford should there be a gas leak from an ammonia truck and a shelter needs to be opened.
I suppose it's kind of a relief to you that we've had a semi-quiet hurricane season, isn't it?
It's a bit of a relief. It certainly helps because, say, a hurricane happens in Florida, Red Cross volunteers from Oklahoma are going to be part of that contingent that goes to make sure that people have shelter and food and that their immediate needs are taken care of. And that means that those volunteers aren't here responding to home fires and things like that, doing the day in, day out work that we have to do.
Specialists involved?
Specialists as far as disaster response?
Well, in other words, when you go into an area that needs the Red Cross touch, if you will, you have doctors that travel with you?
Sometimes we do. We have a wide range of volunteer positions for everything that we do. In disaster response, we do have health professionals that become Red Cross volunteers and might step into disaster health services, help people who have health concerns after a disaster. We also have people who learn how to run a shelter, and they're the ones that help care for people who don't have a home to stay in. We have people who train in logistics, so they understand the workflow of getting supplies in and distributing them and where they need to go. There's a whole set of different things that people can do as Red Cross volunteers.
Well, while we're on that, and before we let you slip out of here, because time is just going by so quickly, if someone wants to become a Red Cross volunteer, what do they need to do?
The easiest thing for them to do is to go to redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS, and they can find out more about our volunteer opportunities there, and they can apply online as well. I really do want to plug our service to the armed forces opportunities, since we just had the military food and hygiene drive. There's such a variety of things that people can do if they want to help veterans or military families, from working in VA clinics to making sure that families on base are taught preparedness skills. Maybe a family's new to Oklahoma, military family just moved here, they don't know about tornado safety. We have people that go on base and help teach them those skills.
So you're not without folks who are in a position to educate as needed.
Right.
Well, listen, Matt, I want to thank you for taking time to come visit with us, bring us up to speed on some of these things, and God forbid your services are needed more than you have volunteers for. I hope the cup runneth over.
I appreciate that. We hope for that too.
We'll talk to you again.
Thank you.
We're all out of time. Thank you for being a part of it, and we'll see you back here next time.